I mean, Ellis, we have to.
What a night. What a night.
Want a confession?
Sure.
I am not the least bit bothered by our conversations and predictions yesterday. I mean, people still respond when, like, I was sort of like, how could you not play Luukkonen? Oh, don't you feel stupid? No. Know why? Because neither you nor I have any idea what's going to happen in these games. Do not think for a second that I think that. I just would have played Luukkonen because I want to win, and he's my number one. But, you know, how much time did we spend yesterday trying to fend off subconsciously these people who just, like, think you just think you know everything? How much time did we spend on, but we don't know?
Right.
I mean, practically half the show, which was, you know, I guess pointless because the people are still going to tell you that they think you know.
Yeah, whatever.
Conviction.
Yeah.
So, Ellis, 37 saves. The confession is, I bet Columbus in the second intermission. They were dominating.
Of course you did.
And they were plus 240.
Yeah.
1-0 down. They were killing us.
It's hard to turn down.
Ends up 5-0. So
I don't know about killing us. I never felt like they were getting killed.
Well, shot attempts were ridiculously
Yeah, that's
one-sided.
right. The second intermission, it was pretty lopsided.
Whole game.
Yeah. And you know, Colten Chaos. There was that sequence where were these separate sequences? There was one, I think it was all in the second period because it was left to right, Columbus attacking, you know, the down that end. And for those of you watching on the Twitch and YouTube, I'm gesturing to my right, just so you know. That means that way on TV. And there was a play coming in from the right point, and it looked like he caught the heel of his skate or something in the ice and just fell over. And then maybe on that same sequence, he lost his stick a couple times. There's the helmet was off, and he had to grab his helmet, and then they were coming in, and the play was never stopped because he wasn't in danger. He got the mask on and then made a save. There was a little chaos.
That was like Hasek.
But it was only that one little pocket of the game where I thought he was completely out on the high wire. The rest of it, I thought he looked as in control as maybe he's ever looked. Maybe he's just been working on his game this whole time, which is what you should do.
Maybe
I guess.
Columbus can't score.
Maybe there is
Sorry.
that.
I mean, I'm not trying to take away anything.
I just thought he was not at all what I was fearing he'd be. As I said yesterday, even in games where I think you'd say he played well, there's these moments where it's just like, I think I made a sound similar to that, talking about Colten Chaos. And that was the one little pocket of the second period, there was that. But I thought the rest of the game, he was really in control, which to me is a very good sign for him as a goaltender moving forward. Because mostly what I think happens when you are going too fast and you get out of control is that the game is too fast for you. And you don't see it in time, so then you're going too hard, and now you're way over here, and you got to get back over there, and like you're chasing it.
So let me really ask you then, what do you think he is as, you know, a possibility in the playoffs? Only in an emergency? Has that changed? I mean, yesterday we're talking about whether he was worth this game against Columbus, and now we're at a point where Lyon is injured and Luukkonen is the clear number one. Does he ever come out? I mean, does Ellis get a look at it? What does it have to go wrong first? Really wrong?
Yes. I think the degrees of wrong, if Lyon is not available, at least early in the playoffs, and Ellis is. So Ellis is your backup. Lyon is shelved for games 1 through 4, let's just say, hypothetically.
Even if he isn't.
The series starts, Luukkonen's your goalie. How does Ellis get in? I mean, Luukkonen screws up or gets hurt. And I think with it being Ellis instead of Lyon, maybe there's a little more runway there for the screw up. You know what I mean? Like you get a longer leash on Luukkonen because you don't have Lyon. But I still think you're not going to pivot to Ellis unless Luukkonen cracks. You know, he just has a bad day and it just doesn't look good. He looks overwhelmed or something, which I'm not ready to predict at all. But I think that's what it takes.
I don't think that happens even in that scenario unless it's like multiple games. It would have to be multiple games. You're not turning, I think, you're not turning your back on Luukkonen unless it's like almost over. If an injury would change everything, but otherwise, I win game 1 4-3 in overtime against Boston at home. I lose game 2 5-3. I go to Boston, I lose 5-3. Who plays game 4?
I think Luukkonen.
Me
probably.
too. Me too. I think it would have to be just like almost over.
And I think I would. I think I really. I wonder if Lyon. Maybe the answer is different for Game 4 if it's Lyon. But
he will have gone how long?
Right. And
he didn't finish Washington.
And he'll be coming back from an injury now.
Back from an injury, pulled in his last start. A week before that was his last start.
And he was rocky in those two before that. That's how we got to Luukkonen playing 3 games in a row.
This always is changing, and it's wrong to be like really sort of dug in because of that. But I just don't know how he plays again, Lyon. Last night, factoring into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you got a guy here. Look at the locker room after this game. Look at the celebration on the ice, how they pinned down that shutout. I mean, they respect this guy's path.
Sure. There was no doubting, if you know the littlest bit about hockey, watching the final few minutes of that game, that those guys wanted that for him badly.
Yeah.
And so, what does that indicate? That indicates that they wanted to play well for him. He's getting this chance, and they're that close to not just winning the game, but, getting him his first professional shutout, or first NHL shutout. He's played in the AHL for quite a while. I would guess he's got professional shutouts.
But this is his first NHL season.
Right. He made his season debut with the Sabres back in whenever that was, November, or even October it might have been. So, there was clear evidence of, I think, how tight a team they are, that even the third string goalie was worth rallying around to them.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I think it just really does speak well of like who they are and what the scene is like inside that team. That, and even I thought that I'll just add this in because I loved it. The more evidence of this. Pretty new guy here in Logan Stanley makes that pass to Quinn for the third goal, and it's not always obvious, but you get guys score a goal and it's like, I scored a goal, and into the glass you go, and like, look at me, I scored a goal. Before Quinn even reacts to like him having scored the goal, the first thing he does is point at Stanley coming around behind the net, like, you MFer, what a pass that was.
Rightly.
Yeah, and like that is, I just couldn't love that more. It's not everything, but it's evidence that this is a group that, Logan Stanley, he's one of the guys, like the guy that's been here for 3-4 years, can't wait to point at you after he just scored his 20th goal of the year, by the way, right? Was that his 20th? For Quinn, like that's a mark for a guy, and he can't wait to like just call out the guy that made the play, which is really nice. And it's not like that guy was Rasmus Dahlin, it's Logan Stanley.
It was 20, and 25 for Doan. That's the highlight of the night for me. That 2-0 goal.
I think that might be the play of the year for them. It's not the greatest play of the year. It's not the most impressive play of the year. But I think about what changed for this team and how different they are
from last year.
Yeah. And a guy like that, a new guy like that, tracking down, just what an absolute DAWG dog play that was. I'm taking the puck, and not only am I taking it, I'm running away from you with speed, and I'm going to be good enough to beat the goalie and, not game over, but it's 2-0 after a 1-0 game for 40 minutes or whatever it was. What a play. Like that determination, that unwillingness to give up on a play is the thing to me that makes the biggest difference for this team this season and really since December. And that's why I say that's emblematic of the 2025-26 Sabres right there. That's it.
Well, I agree with this premise, and I'm not sure I know the term I want for this yet or the word, but what's different? Every fan is asking every other fan, how do you account for this? Mostly the same roster, not that player, But I think Doan, Quinn, Benson are really like individually and then as a group what the difference is. Like if we're not just going to settle for, oh, well, they fired their GM and now we're going to take it seriously. I mean, that's pretty cliche. But Doan is a new arrival and he has been excellent. And really the energy, not just the production, but the energy. Right. You have Benson a year older, and this feeds on each other. I mean, Benson and Doan, whether that's Quinn or whoever, different combinations of players and plays, his and Zucker on the post-game show in New York being like, well, I would have passed it to anybody but him on that empty net goal. That tells you a lot. It's such a compliment in sounding like in reverse. I mean, it tells you a lot about Benson's role and his standing as a 20-year-old still in that room. I mean, look what he does. Even when that game's 3-4-0 last night, that guy's going a mile a minute.
Well, yeah, the play he makes for Doan's second goal to make it 4-0 that's an elite play.
And then take Quinn, who was, I mean, I was always in on Benson. I was never out on Doan. I didn't know a lot about him. I mean, it was a trade, and we'll see what we get. I know his dad refused to come to the Sabres, so I don't know. Just sort of, we'll see what happens. One of those guys, but he's been so good. Quinn was the guy I think everybody was going to be ready to be done with or part with.
At the deadline, anybody asked me coming up to the deadline, what do you want to do with this lineup? It's running so pure. Upgrade Quinn, maybe.
But he's coming off of those injuries.
Yeah. Is there a 28-year-old version of him I can trade him for? Because that might give me more, comfort and security with a little, like, more of a beard guy for the playoffs. That was a very popular idea, certainly with me and I think a lot of other people. And, yeah, I mean, he's probably always been important, but, I mean, he's having a nice end of the year here.
I would have to go even backwards from there. Because for me, I was feeling like it was over before that.
Yeah.
And if he got to the deadline, it was somebody that I could turn into somebody better and older. Okay, I would count that as a win. Instead, I mean, he's helped the power play a lot. Not that they're going great right now, but he plays a role there. I think also his energy. I think those three guys, and if you want to include a Malenstein or even Byram, maybe you'd have to drag me to that. Certain guys, younger, not Dahlin, not Thompson, as important as they are, not Tuck. There's like a younger nucleus that has this big energy that is a problem for teams. Last night's game, quintessentially. I mean, they're the whole Krebs. I want Krebs on this list. He's someone else. I mean, he's been here longer, but he's also somebody like they have this, what? I still don't know what I want to call it. They have this, it's not secondary, it's above secondary, but this younger group that has so much to do, so many of these wins.
You're not even including Ostlund because he's been hurt, but I think
I'm not.
He's in this group if he's healthy, for sure to me.
Okay, like there's this younger group of guys that has been so many wins this year. They're not all Thompson games. There's been a Thompson game in a while. Like it's just this great energy. And everybody's feeding off of it. I think even maybe older players on this team are feeding off of it. Ask Zucker, ask Tuck, what those younger guys, Doan isn't as young. I mean, Benson is not even 21.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really exciting. Last night, it looked like a game going in, to me. The goalie was part of that. The betting line movement was part of that. It was Columbus as a favorite.
Columbus desperate. You're sort of, we've seen them maybe, I've said, like, to explain away games that they didn't play their best. Like, it's natural to coast a little emotionally, physically, like it's a long year. And I thought they might be out-desperated last night by a team that was trying to stay in the race. And they didn't hammer them until they hammered them. Like, it was a very tight game. 1-0 for most of the game. But then once they, Columbus started opening up, I guess, to try to take some chances. We got to get some goals. Got to do something here. And it was boom, 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 just game over.
It's crazy. It keeps getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're 4 up on Tampa with less than a week to go. It just keeps getting better. Well, Sam Panayotovich coming up. He texted each of us today. Lindy is minus 2,000 to win the Coach of the Year at FanDuel. Like, that's a fait accompli, I think, at this point.
I hope the betting odds are representative of the voting pool, who are broadcasters.
I always think they are, because I think there are people who drive that are, they talk to. It's why we can't bet it.
Right.
It's things like that. Like, somebody knows the answer or they have some clue.